Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to our podcast, Retro Life for You. And today we are putting in some work for some extra content for the YouTube channel.
Uh-huh.
Marty, what you think about that,
Yep.
man? But
Well, yeah, it works for me. And we're talking about some really cool VHS movies and the people that started them. So,
yeah, and it's about time we got to this. We've been talking about this for a long time, but
uh-huh.
we are finally starting some of this stuff, and this is a fun one to start with. Marty mentioned VHS tapes as the topic today, and we're going to talk about VHS tapes, how they come up when they first come around, and the whole concept around it and what it was like. The whole I don't know the whole experience and everything with them and everything. And then we're going to talk about the top 10 VHS rentals of all time. These are, of course, estimated dollar amounts. I did my research online and found these and confirmed
Yeah.
them on a couple other different sites that they had the same
And
thing.
and all these are good movies.
Yep.
I'm not too wild about two of them out
Hmm.
of the list, but I still like I put underneath my name. I owned every single one of them.
I mean, I don't know if I owned all of them or not at one point. Maybe I did, with the exception of a couple. I know one for sure I did not, but we'll get to that in a little bit when we're breaking them down and talking about those. Um, so basically, like I said, today it's a deep dive into VHS and the films on them that kind of shaped our living rooms, you should say, changed our movie watching habits, made video rental stores a place to be a part of the pop culture in the 80s and 90s. And it was a fun time for sure. Um,
Yeah. Did you go to the big conglomerates?
I went
Like
it,
Blockbuster, or did you have like your regular mom and pop store?
both. I mean, depending on where I lived at the time, because in the small town I live in here, it was mom and pop stores. Matter of fact, the place here where I grew up, it was called Silver Bullet Video, was the name of it.
Mine, mine was Video Depot.
I remember Video Depot. Yeah, over in
Yeah.
I believe that was in West Nashville, right?
It was right off of Charlotte Pike, right
Yeah,
on the corner of right on the corner of Whitebridge Road and Charlotte Pike. That's where
yeah.
it's at.
So the place we're talking about, I lived there at 1.2 for a few years, and when I rented places, rented movies, it was Blockbuster down on
Mm.
what the road they call White Bridge Road here.
Blockbuster was all the way at the end of Whitebridge Road right before you
Yeah,
got to
and
Harvard. Yeah.
yeah. Now I can't remember if there was a Hollywood Video here or not, but when I lived in another part of Nashville, there was a Blockbuster and a Hollywood Video, both.
I want to say there was a Hollywood Video going towards Bellevue, like Highway 70. Remember when Walmart used to be up on the hill?
Yes,
There was a Hollywood Video that sat there a couple of doors down from
I
me.
thought so. I thought so. And of
Yeah.
course, everybody listening is going, "I don't know where your hill is. You're talking about, Marty." But
Yeah,
trust us, people. Just
exactly.
trust us.
It was on
Yeah,
the hill, man.
it
It
was.
was
It
on the
was.
hill.
It was here, and Marty will die on that hill to make you believe it. It was there. It was. No, it was. But lots of fun places over the years
Yeah,
I've been to. I always love the mom and pop shops best because
yeah, me too.
I mean,
It always felt more at home,
it
and
did. But the blockbusters and the Hollywood videos and such, that was like a hangout place almost. That's where on Friday nights when you'd go to rent movies for the weekend, you would see some of your friends from school there looking at,
exactly, yeah,
or and then it got to the point where not only were they renting videos, they were renting games too, like for your Nintendos and your Segas and things like
mhm,
that. So I mean, it got to be a little bit of everything.
yeah,
Uh, so, and a lot of people listening here, they're definitely familiar with DVDs and Blu-rays, right? They all know about that, but
right.
the VHS were introduced in the late 70s. And if you want to be specific, September of 76 in Japan and in August of 77 in the United States. developed by JVC, which is a very well-known brand name for back in that day. They
Uh-huh.
became the dominant home video format over Sony's Betamax, which we were talking about earlier as well, due to
Yeah.
longer recording capacity. It was up to 2 hours initially, and later it was more widespread adoption for movie rentals. Um, do you remember the VHS tapes? I mean, you had was it EP, SP, and LP? Is that
Yeah.
how it went?
Mm. Yeah, there where you could actually take your VHS recorder and then put in a tape. And then, like, if you saw something on HBO or Cinemax, or you're all like, "Oh, I want that," and you put
Oh
the
man,
tape in
just
there.
regular television. I mean, I used to record stuff off regular television. For the longest time, I would go every week and I would record my favorite show and pause it when it went to commercial, so I'd have commercials to watch next time I wanted to watch it. Um, Back when they had a very popular cartoon, the X Men. Was it X Men '97? Is that what it was?
Yeah, well, X-Men '97 is what's on Disney Plus
Right, but
now.
it was from the year
But it
1997 when it
was,
came out,
yeah,
wasn't it?
from X-Men, the cartoon X-Men
Yeah.
was from, it released from 96 and ended in late of 98 or
Okay.
maybe early of 99.
Well,
So,
I had like a full VHS tape, 6 hours worth of those episodes and everything.
really?
I would sit there at my cousin's house on MTV and we would wait for videos to come on we liked. I had a full 6 hour tape of videos recorded from MTV, anywhere from the Daily Top 10 to the Headbangers Ball on Saturday night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Occasionally we'd flip over to VH1 and see if anything was playing on there we wanted to record. And
Yeah, never was. Never was.
I had a lot of wrestling tapes, a lot of wrestling I recorded because I was really big into wrestling when I was young, loved all that.
Mhm.
And that's the whole point of this thing. This is before this is what you did before when we didn't have um like on demand stuff on your television
Yeah,
uh
or streaming, for
or
that
well
matter.
streaming, and then you got the whole digital storage where you can record your shows straight to your box, like a TiVo or something.
Yeah.
We didn't have TiVos then, they were VCRs, and VCRs recorded things on your VHS tapes.
I literally have movies that I've downloaded on flash drives, and I've got one stick. I've got one stick that has at least like 25 movies on it,
Mhm.
and the only thing I got to do is I'll just plug it right into the back of my flat screen and just bring it up on my menu and just go through and see and just
Yeah,
pick it.
and see,
Yeah,
talk about storage space and how things have changed. VHS tapes had a 2 hour recording, a 4 hour recording, or a 6 hour recording, depending on, how you said it, I guess.
yeah,
And then it also, if you didn't want to record over anything, if you didn't want your tape recorded over, you tore a little tab out of the corner.
exactly. You pull that tab out,
Mhm.
and the only way that you could actually
Hold up.
is
Yeah, I know where
to
you're
put a
going with
piece
it.
of tape.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this. Just because you tore the tab out, don't think you were 100% safe. Because like he's
Mhm.
telling you, take a piece of tape, a little scotch tape or something, put it over it tight, smooth it out, record right over it anyway.
Yeah,
So,
I lost so many of shows like that. So
yep. When VCRs first came out too, that played the VHS tapes, they were costing people over 1,000 to $1,400.
yeah, they were
They were
expensive.
very so every house did not have them. So what we did was in that time, we went out and we rented VHS tapes and VCRs to watch our stuff on. But even before that, Marty, we were talking, you brought up before we started recording, there was Betamax. People had Betamax they could watch things on. And then
Yeah,
there was, I've mentioned in the past before in other episodes, video disc players, where you had what looked like a giant laser disc,
yeah,
but it wasn't
a giant CD.
right. It looked like a giant CD, but it wasn't. The video discs weren't in the shape of that. They were in the shape of just a square. It's like the big CD you're talking about was inside of the case, the
Yeah, it
square,
was inside of a
and
case.
you'd push the square case in face up with the like the picture of the movie it is, whatever, face up in, and then you'd pull it back out and it plays the movie. However, the trick was it only play half of it. Then
Yeah.
you had to, but when it stopped at the half of it, you put the thing back in, pulled it out, flipped it over, put it back in, and pulled it out, and there's your second half of the movie. So,
Uh-huh.
like many a time, I would go rent Rocky 3, for example, and just flip it to the backside automatically,
Yeah.
because that's where it starts the training montage with Apollo Creed getting ready to fight, Clubber Lang, and that's
Exactly.
to me that was the best part of the movie from there on. So, lot
There's
of
there's only one thing that I can think of that you actually had to like you said, the first half of the movie was on the top side, and then you flipped it over and you put in the other part. The extended versions of Lord of the Rings DVD box set.
yeah.
There there was four discs in that box set, and at least two of them had the movies on it. Yeah, the other two discs were special content and the making and all that. But it was basically like you get to one part of the movie, and then it
Yep.
was like, and then literally at the end of the extended edition, it was like time to put in the next DVD to finish watching the movie, and
Yeah.
you pop the DVD out, you put the other one in, and then you and
Were
then
those
put
were those the DVDs that looked like they were books on a bookshelf?
yes, and I got every single one of them.
I have
There's
2 of
there's a
them.
green there's a green for Fellowship. There's a red for the Two Towers, and the blue was Return of the King.
Sorry, I'm turned around looking. I thought I had mine behind me somewhere, but if I do, I don't see them now. I have the red and the green one, or a blue one and a red one, I think. I think I have 2 Towers and Return of the King. I think my Fellowship of the Ring got damaged in a
Mm,
storm we had, so I don't think I have it anymore. But yeah, I had all 3 at one point. Because yeah, Lord of the Rings is pretty much my favorite trilogy of all time.
yeah.
That and along with doing the Hobbit trilogies as well. But yeah, and then the VHS tapes kind of come to a halt because they were. I guess it just wasn't. I don't know, Marty. How would you
Well,
explain it? It just wasn't
how
the.
how I noticed it, it was like when just like music was on tapes, you know, and then when CDs came out,
Better
it was like
quality.
it was like a revolution. I mean, it basically took over the tape scene as soon as the CDs came out,
You
and then
can
it
you
was
can
almost like that was happening to the VHS scene too,
you can
because
definitely make that comparison for sure.
yeah, because like VHS was going to be VHS are like kind of going to the wayside, and then DVDs are kind of slowly trickling in,
So
and
taking
then
taking
just
your
took over.
So taking your comparison there, we go from albums and music to cassettes, which is supposed to have, it's a smaller media for one, and the sound was supposed to be a little bit cleaner
Mhm.
because on the records you could hear the needle going
Yeah,
across
you
the
could hear
record.
the needle scratching through the
Yeah,
music.
yeah.
So
So and then when you had CDs, it was even more clearer
yeah,
than the cassettes were. So the same
exactly.
thing for movies with VHS tapes. As much as we loved our VHS tapes and everything, after a while of watching them so many times, Marty, what started happening to them?
They would start to either tear up, or they would break, or they would just start like you could literally like be in the middle of watching a movie, and all of a sudden you'll see it just kind of fizzle, and it'll
Yes,
just and then it'll
the
do like a little
quality.
hiccup, and then color and it'll just be all just shaky and almost look like one of those crazy movies that you'd be trying to watch like on a naughty channel or something. So
like Jim on American Pie.
yeah, yeah.
Honey, I think he's watching something bad. No, I'm sure it's just bad reception, honey. Uh, the quality of the media, the VHS, would just start to diminish after so
Yeah,
long, and especially if it's a recorded tape that you recorded something on. The more you recorded over it, you like you erase the other one prior and recorded over it with a new one. The more you did that, the more the more
the
wear for
more it
tear it
wore
got and
down.
everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So DVDs start to come out in the same fashion that CDs did, to where the quality was so much better.
Right,
And you had more of a high definition, like a seven was like a, I think 460 is like VHS, quality.
right.
I
And
think
then
720 was your basic HDMI, and then 1080p
there's your
was
Blu-ray and your 4K.
right, and
So
then you get your 4K. So I mean, the quality just kept getting better and better and better and better and better. And now you've got, like you said, uh your storage. What would you have it on again? You said earlier,
I got a lot of movies. I got
flash drives.
flash drives. I
Yeah, the
mean,
flash
I got
drives.
like eight or nine. I got like 8 or 9 flash drives that look nothing but just movies
Uh,
and TV shows.
See, the problem with flash drives obviously is that you can't really write on it to say what's on it. You have to
Right.
plug it in first to see what's on there, unless you've seen it so many times you know. But that's the downside with that. At least with the DVD, you get the case you take it out of. On top of the DVD, it tells you what it is and everything, and so on and
Exactly.
so forth.
Yeah,
But I mean, you have more storage room on a flash drive though.
yeah, you
And then
do.
you've got the 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 portable hard drives. I mean, you can get a 4 terabyte hard drive, which is huge
Mhm.
today, for a very reasonable price, and put all your movies on there that you have practically.
Yeah,
So I mean, plug it into your TV and then go to that, and there's your list of movies right there on the screen, what you got. Um, VHS obviously would have never gotten us that, but I mean, it was a different time, different thing, and that's the kind of stuff that we
different era. So
yeah.
you get,
So, and then while these were popular through the 80s and 90s, the format, since we're talking about DVDs and streaming and moving forward, the format was largely replaced by DVDs, with major studios stopping releases in 2006. So, we're not real far out of the elimination of VHS, but it's been a good 20 years now
mhm.
since the last VHS was really being put out and everything. During this time, we were talking earlier about there's 10 films that has been listed as the some of the top grossing rentals of all time for VHS tapes. That could be through late 70s when they came out, through the 80s, through the 90s, into the early 2000s when they stopped making them. But
Mhm.
rentals, not purchases, but rentals. And that's the great thing about VHS. I mean, you could own the movie that you wanted to have without going to the theater and watching it. You could own it now, watch it whenever you want, start it, stop it, rewind it, fast forward it, pause it, come back and and start playing again, whatever you
Yeah.
want to do. When before VHS came around, I mean, you watched a movie to theater, it might not come back on again for years and years down the road when it come on
Exactly.
television.
And if you got up and you had to use the restroom in a
You,
theater,
you miss something.
yeah, you automatically miss like at least maybe like
5 minutes,
five
six
minutes,
minutes.
5 minutes, five
But
minutes of the movie.
what if it's a
So
key 5 minutes you missed, you know? What if
yeah,
it's that? Now, if you
yeah,
wanna see it, you gotta take your friend's word for it, what happened, or you gotta go back and pay to watch the movie all over again at the
yeah,
theater.
exactly,
And
exactly.
that's why, a lot of these early movies before VHS got big made so much money at the theaters, if you think about it, because it was only at the theaters you were gonna watch it at that
Mhm.
point. And then later on, when VHS became more affordable, what they would do is it would go to the theater, right? It would take it a minimum of what after it left the theater. It might be in the theater for 3 months.
Well,
If it's
usually,
really popular, if it's really popular. If not, maybe a month and it's gone.
Yeah.
But how many months down the road did it take for that VHS tape became available for a rental?
Uh, I would say probably anywhere from 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, it was I'm gonna say a minimum of 3 months, depending on how popular it was. The more
Yeah,
popular it was, the longer they made you wait, because they knew
exactly.
when it came out, you'd run to go get it as much as you could when it
Yeah,
first came out.
you'd either run to go rent it or you'd run to go buy it because they gave you that option. So
Yeah, you had the option then, but I mean, it obviously buying it didn't go toward the rental revenues we're talking about or anything.
mhm.
But you could definitely own or rent your favorite films whenever you wanted. Movie nights became a thing at your home. You have viewing parties with your friends. People collected tapes. They collected the movies. They wanted to own all of them they could. Uh,
I had me and you both, like you said before the storm took out your collection. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
you had a decent collection.
I had a 20-year collection of stuff, but
Yeah.
mine was DVDs though. All my
Well,
VHS tapes I had gotten rid of earlier before that and everything.
yeah.
I had a couple of VHS tapes that were collector purposes. Like there was a Howard the Duck. There was a I showed you my Highlander letterbox director's cut a while ago.
Mhm.
There was things like that, but the rest of them I already had was all DVDs. But some people, when they had their VHS and they got you know weathered or tore up, you couldn't replace those anymore. They were hard to get.
Yeah.
The only thing we had to do sometimes, if you remember, our tapes would get eaten up by the VCR if you didn't keep the heads clean in the VCR.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And
that's a
that's the reason why you always had that VHS tape cleaner. You
yes,
you pop the front screen open, you put the little spray on there,
you
you pop it
always
back down, you put it back in, you
yeah,
hit the play button, and then
mhm,
you hear this little tune tune tune, and you hear it through the speakers on the TV, and it says your VHS is now clean.
yeah,
Remove the tape.
yeah. And then if your tape did get caught up in or get eat up, you'd pull it out, you'd wind it back in, but sometimes the tape itself is damaged now. So what do we had to do? Like cassette tapes, we had to cut it, we had to splice it right back together, real careful with one piece
Yeah.
of tape across the top to hold it and hope and pray that when you played it
that
the
it would
next
that
time,
it would hold,
yeah,
yeah.
that it would hold, didn't get caught up again in there. Or you bought yourself another one. So um, there was also tape swapping. People would they'd be like, "Hey, I bought this. I'm tired of watching it for a while. Have you seen this one lately?" I said, "No, I've been looking for that one." Well, hey, I'll trade you this one for that one. I haven't seen that in a while. And you may not do it permanent, but you swap the tape with a friend for a few weeks or something, and then
Exactly.
have
And then
something
you'd
different
be
to
like,
watch.
all right, give me my movie back.
Yeah, I decided I want to watch Star Wars again. Give it to me.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but
Well, speaking of Star Wars, and this is a problem. I remember we were talking earlier before we started recording. Um, they did this was before the special editions. All my special editions are on DVD, but they did a release of I want to say it might have been like maybe late in mid 90s or late 90s. They did a cleaner
the remastered
version.
versions,
Yeah, the remastered. They cleaned the film a little bit, and they put THX surround sound to
yep.
these bad boys,
They
and
also added a couple things to some of them, some scenes.
yeah.
They changed the way the Death Star exploded in the first one.
Well, that
Um,
was that was on the special editions though.
I thought that was the '97 ones.
Well, no, the ones that I was talking about were probably even earlier than that because I've actually got the
Is it
VHS,
are
not
those the ones that
VHS.
were like the gold box, silver box, and all that that came out?
No, they were the boxes that were black, and it had like one of them had like I think New Hope had Stormtrooper's face on the front of it,
Oh,
and
those. Okay. Yeah.
and it actually had THX written
Yeah.
underneath it.
Yeah,
So,
I got you now. I remember. Okay. There. All right. So just for the record, everybody, there were several different versions released
oh,
of some
dude,
of
there's
those.
been many, many, many.
Yeah, anything to make an extra buck off everybody.
Well,
Yeah, before we jump into the top 10 here, I want to talk about a couple of things of how basically VHS it changed our way of watching movies. You know, you got personal control over the viewing, like we mentioned earlier. You can pause at any time, you stop it, start it, rewind it, fast forward it to what you want to see, wherever the case may be. It put the control in your hands, basically. Uh,
exactly.
you have and that's basically like the enhanced version, the enhanced part of the VHS. Like I said, you start, stop, rewind, whatever. But you had family and social experiences, which I mentioned earlier, being movie night. Um, Suddenly, movies weren't just about going to the theaters and paying for tickets and buying popcorn and drinks and candy and stuff like that. People would schedule movie nights at home and invite friends over, or family might come over or something. And you would do something like you to get, your own popcorn to pop, and there'd be drinks there. And of course, your mom might have bought uh,
Pizza,
little boxes of
pizza,
candy or something. Well, there
pizzas from Little Caesars.
pizza party, pizza party with the movie and everything. There's different things you could do. I mean, it might have been family night, a sleepover entertainment, date night at home or something.
or or as we used to do back in the day, many of friends gathered in my living room
Yeah.
and watching my old school big screen TV.
I mean, it's bigger than our screen. I mean, we had to come over to your house.
Yeah, exactly.
Just made it right. Um, anyway, I think we'll go. So let's go ahead and jump to this list, and we'll talk a little bit about some of them and everything as well. But we're not going to break the movies down like we usually do when we're doing an actual podcast or something. So don't worry about that. Um, Starting at number 10, we'll go from 10 and go to number one. Home Alone is number 10. It's estimated to have made 140.1 million in rentals. This is not purchases, just rentals only. And I don't know. Once again, I'm gonna say this. I've checked several places, and they all came up with the same list, but I'm not sure how they get their totals of estimated totals. Is it based off of reports of major chains like Blockbuster and Hollywood Video and places like that put out there?
Probably.
And if
And
that's the case, you don't know about the mom and pop shops or anything either. Those probably wouldn't report for things like that.
you would think they'd have to. I
I
mean,
mean, I don't know.
technically, I
I don't
mean,
know how it works really, but I mean, there's got to be a way that they know this for sure if they're coming up with these
yeah.
numbers.
Well, and I mean, didn't most of the rentals like they had like barcodes on them that
Hmm.
when you would scan them, it would register a number that was on the barcode.
Well, true,
So that would actually keep tabs on everything that was going out. So
true. Well, so Home Alone number 10, as I mentioned, 140.1 million, the ultimate holiday rental, released just before Christmas, and it dominated rental shelves every year around the Christmas holidays. There's only one other movie I can think of that is loved as much or more, probably just as much, every year at Christmas, and that's A Christmas Story. But
yeah.
it was on TV. It's been on TV every year nonstop
Yeah,
for as
like
long as I can remember.
24 hours of
Yes,
Christmas story.
24 hours on TNT and TBS nonstop over and over and over
Yeah,
again.
nonstop, dude.
Crazy.
After a while, it gets old.
I know. It's crazy. And here I actually forgot to Marty, you didn't remind me, did you? We're talking about Home Alone, I said, right? So for those watching the videos, you know what? I lost Marty. I messed up. Hold on.
Oh,
Apparently,
here,
Marty, you're
here
video.
I
Apparently,
am.
Marty, you're
Here
not the other thing.
I am.
How did that happen? Uh,
I don't know, but the when you did it before, I was like underneath you, and then
yeah.
and then the Home Alone little dude was over here. So
Well, apparently now you're not on the screen at all when I do it, so I guess I'm not going to do it.
okay.
That's what we get for trying to be fancy.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, number 9 was Batman from 1989. Where does he get those wonderful toys?
That's right.
Uh,
Right.
rental revenue estimated at 150.5 million. Tim Burton's dark, stylish take on Batman was a huge VHS hit, unforgettable to that generation for certain.
Mhm. Yeah.
Everybody loved Batman. So
Oh yeah. Michael Keaton, he is Batman.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm Batman.
Yep. I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. He's Batman.
Yeah, he is
Number
Batman.
number 8, numero ocho, Forrest Gump.
Yep. Which is an excellent movie.
Gen 8 got a lot of video rentals.
Yeah, I
Uh,
bet you did.
Estimated $156 million. Tom Hanks' unforgettable performance and quotable script made this a rental favorite for movie night after movie night because his mom always said that life was like a box of chocolates.
You never know what you're gonna get.
That's right. Number 7. This is one that I never really owned Forrest Gump on VHS. By the way, I forgot to say
I
that.
did.
The other
Yeah.
two, we previously mentioned, I had them, but I didn't have Forrest Gump. I also did not have this one either. Number 7, The Lion King. I never was a big Disney cartoon fan when I got older, so I didn't get to these things. But people, I hear people yelling at me right now. My ears are burning.
Exactly.
And they're not even hearing me real time. I can feel the future ears burning.
You can feel Travis's eyes born to the
Yes,
back of your head.
yes, I can. I'm sorry, Travis. Forgive me, man. I'm so sorry. I did not have the Lion King at home. Rental revenue estimated $173.1 million. It's a Disney domination. The film not only sold giant numbers, it also ruled rental shelves for years. I never got the fascination with it, Marty. Though, did you like the movie?
Uh, like I said, I mean, I owned the Lion King. I thought it was an all right movie. I mean, the whole Shakespearean Macbeth. You know, a lot of people will compare the Lion King to Shakespeare's Macbeth,
Okay.
which that's basically what it kind of boils down to
Yeah.
is that it was another adaptation of Macbeth, but in cartoon form, in animal form, you know, which, you know, hey, anything with James Earl Jones voicing,
Mhm.
you know, Mufasa. So I was like, yeah, that's cool in my book. So, so
Darth Vader as a lion of the jungle.
yeah, Darth Vader is the Lion of the Jungle.
What was the Simba? Was that the young one's name?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Simba. I
yeah.
am your father.
Yeah, yeah,
Speaking of which, what we're saying right now and doing that, number
yeah.
6. Guess
Number
what number
six.
6 was?
Yeah,
Number 6 is The Empire Strikes Back.
that's
Speaking of
right.
Luke, I'm your father.
Luke, I'm your father.
Um, you will find going down this list, there's a reason why a lot of people say that the Star Wars saga is one of the all-time greatest movie franchises.
Yeah, because they
As we
dominated. I mean, they
the orig-
George Lucas dominated. I
the
mean,
original movies 4, 5, and 6 are all in this top 10. So not gonna tell you where each one is, but I mean they're there. But The Empire Strikes Back just edged out The Lion King at 173.8 million. So an extra 700 grand, I guess, puts it ahead.
exactly.
Star Wars was not just a box office phenomenon, it translated into huge home video demand. It was great at the movies. People loved them at the movies. They spent a ton of money at the movies. But when it became on VHS, everybody's like, okay, this is the whole point of being able to own these things and rent them when you want. You might not have owned them because at the time it might have cost what 20, 25 bucks to buy a VHS tape,
Exactly. Yeah.
or 30 bucks sometimes for a really big one. And then that was some big money for a movie. So a
Yeah.
lot of people
I
said,
mean
you know what?
that's like you paying like over $100 on a DVD.
It's
So
and a lot of people would say then, I'm not going to spend that money to own that when I can go spend 250 or $3 to rent it just when I feel like watching it.
all right.
They invested in a VHS player, a VCR, to go ahead and watch things on, but they wasn't going to invest in buying an expensive
But
tape.
like you said, I mean, back then when VHS just came out, you were spending like 1,000 to $1,500 on just a player
Right,
itself.
right.
Who had that type of money
Not
back
many
then?
people, not many
Yeah.
people. And then when the prices started going down to $200 and $300,
Then that's when people
people,
started buying them.
yeah,
Yeah.
they started investing in them then. And then eventually, man, if you remember, just before they crapped out, finally, you could go to Walmart and buy a
Oh,
VHS
dude,
tape
buy
for
like
50 bucks.
$10 or something crazy.
You get a really cheap on the cheap for like 20 bucks. I mean, but for an average player, $50, 50 or $60. And that's just for one. I mean, if you got the one that was the dual VHS where you put play in one, record on the other,
Yeah.
you might have spent about 75 to 100 still.
Uh,
Then they came out with a dual threat where they had a DVD on one side and VHS on the other.
yeah.
You can play the best of
But
both.
did you notice every single time with the DVD player or the VHS player, one of them would only last at least 2 to 3 weeks, and then it'd
Right.
take a crap on you.
Right.
So,
Never was worth it. Never
yeah,
was at all. Um, that's the top. Well, I guess we could say well, that'd be the top half or the bottom half. So that'd be the bottom half of the list. I guess wouldn't it? 6 through 10.
yeah, yeah.
So going to the top five now. Number five is Independence Day.
Excellent
With
movie. Excellent movie.
177.2 million. Huge effects, memorable characters, a 90s blockbuster that kept rental stores buzzing. Now remember, this is also impressive at 177.2 million because this movie came out in the 90s. All
Yeah,
right. Some of
yeah.
these other movies we're talking about,
Well, I did Forrest Gump. That was like
Forrest
early
Gump,
'90s. Yeah,
right, right. But then you're looking at Empire Strikes Back, early
yeah.
80s.
That was the 80,
You
1980.
know,
I mean,
Batman was 89. It was almost 90. I don't remember when Lion King came out, honestly.
I
So,
want to say it was like early '90s. So
so uh, there was a lot of movies from the 80s that was there for the long haul to rent and didn't do nowhere near what some of these movies did. So very
yeah,
impressive on these movies on their part. From the 90s, they only have about 20 years of time to rack up that kind of money on little $2 and $3 and $4 rentals or something. Um, but like I said, huge effects, memorable characters, 90s blockbuster kept rental stores buzzing. Independence Day, Will Smith.
yeah.
Great movie.
And Will Smith's quotable line: "What's that smell? What is that smell? I'm
I could
dragging
be in a
yard. I'm
barbecue.
dragging you. I could be at a barbecue right now."
Yeah. Here I am dragging you by your nasty dreads.
Here I am dragging you by your nasty dreads.
Uh, and that's when he kicks him and goes, and what does that smell?
Well, what is that smell?
Number four. Number four. Returning back to the world of Star Wars, Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
Rental revenue estimated at 191.6 million. This wrapped up the original trilogy. This one here was basically consistently in demand for a long while.
Mhm.
In which they wrapped up the original trilogy. The original Star Wars trilogies was 4, 5, and 6. There were supposed to be 9 chapters originally,
Well,
and
they did
and
9 movies. I mean,
well, but the last 3 weren't what the original ideas were supposed to be about.
no, the last
Um,
3 were, in my opinion, not worth film. So,
yeah, it was a different. It's still it's it's a, it's a different thing basically. it wasn't quite the same. They messed it up big time.
Yeah,
But the original trilogy was 4, 5, and 6. As I said, 1, 2, and 3 came out a lot of years
later.
later.
Yeah, later. Yeah.
The prequels they called them. That's when doing prequels for movies started getting pretty big. But
Which
anyway,
which is, which is crazy is that the prequels, 1, 2, and 3, I still have on VHS. And I have there's a certain box in my bedroom that I've kept like all my VHS movies that I wanted to keep
mhm.
that I didn't get rid of, and that mainly is all my Star Wars movies
They still
and all my Star Trek movies.
they
So
still the Phantom Menace then.
yeah,
You so
so
okay there, Marty.
yeah, The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith. I have all three on VHS. So
What's your favorite of the three?
Revenge of the Sith, the third maybe is my favorite.
Of course, has the best lightsaber fight in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I don't know. I mean, the the Phantom Menace, like just the scene where Darth Maul, you know, he's got the cloak over his head, over his face, and then he pulls the cloak off,
all right, but look,
and
I
then
know where you're going with this. I know where you're going, but look,
yeah,
it was
and then he holds the lightsaber out,
yeah.
and then it lights up one way, and it lights up the other way, and then your mind is just like,
See, but it's
well,
not the lightsaber battle that was great. It was the shock and awe of the lightsaber staff. That's what it
yeah,
was. It wasn't the
yeah.
fight as much as the other. The better
Well,
fight.
the fight was pretty good too. So
It was pretty good, but it was not Obi-Wan versus Anakin good in
yeah,
Revenge of the Sith.
but there was literally one scene in Revenge of the Sith when Obi Wan and Anakin were fighting, and when they were taking the lightsabers and just like swirling them through each other and everything, and then just not even trying to see if they can hit each other. It was just like they were bouncing the lightsabers off of each other,
Yeah.
and I was like, come on, guys, this is supposed to be a fight. Yeah, so
I think there was a little bit of fanciness there. It's like
yeah,
who's a
exactly.
better handler. Um, Number 3, Jurassic Park.
Which is another good movie.
Talk about a movie that changed the landscape for a lot of movies.
Well, you got that right.
I mean, rental revenue estimated $212.9 million. Dinosaurs on tape? Yes, please. The
Yeah.
Spielberg classic had massive rental performance. I mean, everybody loved Jurassic Park. The fact, especially with the surround sound, if you had a surround sound system,
Oh man,
the way
when the big T
just
Rex is
do
just
you,
going
do you remember going to
on and
you remember Circuit City, right?
yes,
There was a store called Circuit City before Best Buys was a big deal. Circuit City was around. They had a home theater room set up, and Jurassic Park was the movie they always used to
Mhm.
advertise their surround sound systems. And when you're sitting in that room and they do the scene where the T-Rex is walking or
Yeah,
walking up and you hear
the whole room vibrated.
yes, and on the movie you're looking at the water in the glass and it's shaking a little bit and shaking a little bit
And
again.
then your
So
seat is like,
yeah, you're feeling it everywhere. And then when the dinosaur roars, it's like something else. So
Mhm.
this movie changed a lot of things for people. Also with the special effects, everything that they did for it as well.
Exactly.
Number two,
Because nobody had seen anything like it before.
oh
I
no,
mean,
right? I'm saying basically first of its kind to bring that to the screen. It's like watching Matrix and seeing the whole uh dodging bullets thing they did. I forget what they call that effect. They call it something with bullet in it, bullet
yeah.
magic or something. But when him,
Well,
that's what you
it was
see now.
it was the way the camera, how they filmed it was on like a tripod, and it was on a circle.
Yeah,
And if you've ever watched the making of it, it's like you literally see like there's a green screen in between the circle and the tripod on the camera, and it's like rolling around. And then they literally put Keanu Reeves in the scene on the
Mhm.
green screen, and then just kind of fold him over,
Right.
and then literally like that's when you see the bullets like going like coming, like going coming at him, going around him, and then going past him. So
Right, but the point being, new technology introduced in
yeah,
the
new
movie,
technology. Yeah,
which changed things for a lot of things to come later. Number two is the former all-time grossing movie of basically of all time with everything, theater. I'm talking worldwide sales and everything, which is E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
yeah.
Rental revenues estimated 228.2 million. It's a family favorite for over a decade. Steven Spielberg, once again, there's that name, Steven Spielberg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lovable Alien was rented again and again and again, and everybody suddenly loved Reese's Pieces. Um,
and and
everybody wanted to phone home.
yeah.
Uh, they wanted to hold their little finger up and go, "Ouch." It's uh, only our fingers didn't light up on the end, right? I mean,
Exactly.
um, so it was a great movie. I still like it today. I mean, it's a great movie to watch. We
Yeah.
Believe it or not, we've not covered that on the podcast, not one time.
Not yet. Anyways.
Not yet. Yes, it's hard to believe we have not covered it, but you know, a lot of the biggest ones we've avoided on purpose because they've been done so many times over and over. But eventually,
Exactly.
we'll get to it just because we want to. Um, and once again, I throw it again one more time. Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
His name is in so many movies in this top 10 all
Yeah.
over the place. Number one, I guess everybody should know what number one is by now. I mentioned all of the Star Wars movies that were in here, but we've mentioned
Mm-hmm.
the other two. Star Wars: A New Hope, Episode 4 of the Star Wars saga. Rental revenue estimated $270.9 million. The king of VHS rentals, though originally released years earlier, its special editions kept it on rental charts. There's the key right there, and eventually made it the most rented VHS tape in U.S. history. So it's not just the fact that Star Wars: A New Hope did it by itself. When they re-released it with some extra scenes in it, when they remastered it with the surround sound, the THX and everything, and remastered it and all, those were rented again to watch. Uh,
Yeah.
Same movie. I mean, just different releases, different cuts. I
Yeah.
guess.
Well, I mean, just just the simple fact of the special editions, for A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, out of all of them, the most impact that the special editions felt for me was on A New Hope, because
Mhm.
they had added in so many really cool scenes.
Yeah, if you remember, for a longest time, the tape jumped whenever Han Solo was walking, I guess, around Jabba the Hutt, right, or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
They turn around and fix it where it looks like he steps on his tail
Yeah.
and walks
Yeah.
around with it,
He steps directly on him, and then Jabba's all like, "Wah!"
And speaking of some of these new Star Wars, we had a man on the film on the film, a man from the films, on the show with us talking special effects and
Yeah.
everything. And
The guy that played Boba Fett.
yeah,
Yeah.
he played Boba Fett in that movie, Mark Anthony Austin. Great guy, talked a lot about the effects and everything and what he did. More than just Star Wars, he was on Marvel movies and everything else, but
Mhm.
talked specifically a lot about the Star Wars things that he was in and what they did and everything. And it was really amazing stuff. Um, so there you go with the top 10 all time rentals based on based on the money and everything. It's an impressive list. And once again, Marty, I know you owned all of them. Of the 10 that were there, what's your absolute favorite?
Ha, dude, you should know that by now.
Got to be Star
Uh,
Wars.
Star Wars. I mean,
But
New Hope,
I was
Empire,
gonna
and
say
Return
which
of the
one?
Jedi.
Which one? No, picked one.
Oh man.
I'm always gonna go with Star Wars: New Hope. You know why?
Yeah, that's gonna
Because
be
it has to be.
yeah,
It has
that's
to
gonna
be.
be my end all be all
It has to be. It
because
introduces the characters to us. This is where we first meet Luke Skywalker and Han Solo and Princess Leia and
exactly.
the droids and everything and Darth Vader. This is where we first meet all these people, these big larger than life characters that we watched. So while the other two were great movies, this one's what started it all for us back then,
Mhm.
and made it fun for us to watch and all.
But
Um,
the only thing on my only complaint was, it was like, when you saw New Hope for the first time, it just like, I mean, just impressive.
do you know what was most impressive
Just
about New Hope? Do you know what the most impressive part was? It's
don't
when
say the credits.
no, no. No, I would never do that to the Star Wars, man. No, 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 no. It's when Chuck Norris was running down that little part of the Death Star with the bomb in his hand and throws it like a football and into the hole to blow everything up. Then he took off. He took off on a TIE fighter with his legs spread across both wings as he flies off into space.
as the Death Star is blowing.
Yes, that was the highlight of the movie.
Yeah, well, what Chris was talking about is a short little YouTube clip that I sent him not too long ago. That basically it's Chuck Norris like just whooping tail in the Star Wars franchise.
Reaches out and grabs the lightsaber with his hand and twists. That's great. I don't know who did it, but they were awesome people. And I want to make one more reference to something that we'll have to go ahead and wrap this up, I guess. But I want to make one more reference to an AI video. That was an AI video, obviously, with Chuck Norris. Somebody else made another one I put on the Instagram account. If you haven't seen it, if you're not a part of the Instagram account, go, friend us on Instagram, Retro Life for you, number 4YOU, and friend us on there. You'll see it on there. I shared it and I put on there and tagged the guys that made it and said, "All right, guys, that was awesome." Just to give credit. I don't know. I forget their names now, but it's credited to them on the post. And it's a mixture of Star Wars and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Have you seen it, Marty?
Yes, I
I
love
thought
that video.
I thought I seen it.
I love
Tell you,
that video.
Princess Leia jumps out and goes, "Huh!"
Ah!
Just like just
And then
like
Darth
Ferris
Vader goes,
Bueller.
ha!
Yeah, Darth Vader jumps out and goes, "Ah!" It's the scene from Ferris Bueller when Ferris's sister thinks he's sneaking home and she's busted him, and it's Ed Rooney, the principal, in the house instead, thinking he's
Yeah,
busting
she
Ferris
kicks
Bueller.
him like,
Yeah, kicked him in the face like 4 times, I think. Then takes off
yeah,
running up the stairs, screaming and crying, and "Ah!" It's a hilarious video. If you love Star
yeah,
Wars and you like
it,
Ferris Bueller and all the '80s references and stuff, you gotta watch this video.
yeah, it is hilarious.
But that being said, Marty, we'll go ahead and wrap this thing up. It was fun talking about the VHS tapes and reminiscing about those when they first came out, what we did with them and stuff. And we
Mhm.
could probably, honestly, we could probably talk another hour about them if we really wanted to. But who's going to listen to a 2 hour YouTube video of two goofs talking about VHS recordings?
Mhm. But before we do take off, like, what was like some of your besides the top 10 movies, that we did,
Mhm.
what was your other like rentals that you probably did back in the day? Like,
I rented the crap out of Lone Wolf McQuade and Commando. That was a Chuck Norris movie, Lone Wolf McQuade, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger for Commando. And, in the '90s, the early '90s, I I had this sudden fascination with B movies, meaning it didn't go to the theater, it went straight to tape.
yeah,
And, uh, another former guest we had on the show, 2 of them actually, Cynthia Rothrock and Keith Cook, were both in a lot of these movies. Cynthia Rothrock was China O'Brien. I saw China O'Brien 1 and 2. Her movies Martial Law, Rage and Honor, Honor and Glory, Tiger Claws 1, 2, and 3, No Retreat, No Surrender 2, Yes, Madam. There was a lot of things that she was in. Keith Cook was in China O'Brien 1 and 2. King of the Kickboxers with Billy Blanks and Lord and Abaddon. A lot of big name. Well, I say big names. A lot of martial artist names flooded these movies. That's what it was basically. Was just B martial arts movies that I watched a lot of.
Yeah.
So
And
that was definitely
say
something I
you're
rented them a lot back then.
yeah. And say you're talking about all the B action movies. My favorite thing, besides the movies that we covered tonight, was running the B versions of horror movies. Like I loved the Full Moon Productions that when that company was out because they did like the Puppet Master movies.
Yeah,
They did like Doll Man versus Demonic Toys. They did the regular Doll Man movie, Trancers. Uh, and then I know these weren't like B movies, but the whole Hellraiser genre. I rented those on VHS. I never did get the chance to see the first Hellraiser in theater, so I had to rent. I rented it, fell in love with it. So, and then Nightmare on Elm Street. So,
yeah,
I mean, who who didn't rent all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies? I
right.
mean,
Guilty. That
yeah,
goes.
I mean, Friday 13th. I mean, I was too young to even see that when the first Friday 13th movie came out, and
My first Friday the 13th movie to theater was part 6.
I can believe that.
Yeah. First Elm Street at the theater was Dream Warriors, part
Yeah,
3.
yeah, yeah. That mine too. So
But all right, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. For those of you, before I forget this, once again, you're gonna find this online in different places. So if you're watching the video right now, you'll see right there, YouTube, like and
yeah.
subscribe, little
Oh,
bell
there's that bell.
notification. Make sure
There's
you
that
there's that,
bell.
there's a little bell. Make sure you hit that little bell so it tells you when we have new stuff come out. All right, you can find us at youtube.com/at retro life for you. That's where you'll find us there. And also, if you want to catch us on social media, we're on Facebook. You can like and follow us there. And Instagram, you can like and follow us there. Instagram's been growing a lot lately. I'm not sure what's going
Mhm.
on. I have hit the algorithm somehow in some way. And it's not just with new stuff either. Older things are hitting again and stuff too. I
Right.
think I think it's increased by close to 150 people in the last month and a half.
Hmm.
Um, Not complaining. I love it. And then
Yeah. Yeah.
I always like getting interaction with people when I put things out. So if you see something you like, make sure you put a post on there. Say something about it, good, bad, whatever. Um, I don't just if you get your opinion, it's your
Yeah.
opinion.
We want to
You're
hear
more
it.
than welcome to put it there, whether it's something positive, something negative, or whatever. It's still your opinion, and definitely feel free to put it there. If you got something to say you'd like for us to do a certain movie or anything like that, you can reach us via email at retrolifeforyou@gmail.com. And I answer everything that comes to me. So if you do email me, I will get back with you on whatever it may be and everything. So, Marte,
Yes.
glad you can make it tonight and discuss VHS tapes with us and
Mhm.
these all time rentals. And I look forward to doing our next bit of extra content for you guys out there. So if you
Yeah.
have anything like that, also you'd like to see TV wise, music wise, episode on toys or something,
Yeah.
collectibles,
We
things like
still
that.
we still haven't done our big hair bands, so we need to do that one soon.
We got as soon as I can get our guest on board with it, we're gonna do hairband stuff for sure and get that knocked out of the park as well. So but so many different things we want to talk about. We want to talk, toys of our youth, collectibles, TVs, cartoons, or TV shows. Cartoons,
Well,
things
as
like
you
that.
as
So
you can tell behind me, all my all my toys are right there on that shelf.
I don't
A
even
lot
think
of
it's
them
all
are.
your. That's not even all your toys.
Oh, dude, I don't even scratch the surface of all my
No,
toys.
what we're gonna have to do one day is go to Marty's house and do a walkthrough and just make a video
Of
of
everything.
everything he's got going here. So maybe that'll be something we can do for some fun one day.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Marty, I will see you in the next episode. Everybody, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and share us with all your family and friends. And Marty, what's the one thing that people should remember to do?
Stay retro.